All right, everybody, in today's quick video, we're going to unbox a very spooky grail. Ow! Ow, ow, ow! Welcome back, everybody. My name is Matty, host of this here MM Comics show, as well as MM Comics sales over on the Instagram. I do live weekly auctions every Thursday night, including this Thursday night, when I will be doing a mega New York Comic Con exclusive Halloween theme, brand new slab inventory auction claim sale on Instagram. Don't miss it. Smash this like button and subscribe if you like this video and the other stuff I've been putting out this week. Guys, this book, I wanted to make a separate video just for it because it's a big one. This is a big book. I didn't quite get my dream grade on it. I already checked the grade. Could not bear the suspense. But I got a very significant grade that makes this a very special book to have. The question will be, when we observe it together, is it worthy of a resubmission? Can I do any more work on it that's going to get it above that line, or should we stick where we are? I won't leave you in suspense any longer. We're gonna take it out of this here bubble wrap and see what we got. Now, I got this book off of the wall at my local comic shop here in Rhode Island. I paid a pretty penny for it. The shop owner, Rob, was asking $900 for it raw. With my discount, that's 10% off. I got it for $810, tax-free, which is nice. All right, I got it for $810, and I looked at it raw off the wall, and I saw the issues that it had, and I said, I'll be damned if this thing is not a 9698 candidate. And sure enough, Tomb of Dracula 1, we got a 9.6. Okay? Classic Neil Adams cover, first appearance of Dracula in comics. This thing is a beauty. The colors are just gorgeous on this. I knew it right when I saw it on the wall, and when I took it out of the bag and board, I was like, this thing has potential to go all the frickin' way. Potential to go all the way to a 9.8. And this book, even in this market, in this particular moment, is worth about $7,000 in a 9.8 and about $2,500 in a 9.6, which is no slouch. So even if I keep it in a 9.6, guys, I'm in about $800 on it, $900 with the submission, right? So that's more than a 2.5 times return, which, you know, no one can complain with that, right? But think about the potential. So I looked at the grader's notes on this. Wow. This just looks pretty near perfect. I looked at the grader's notes on this, and the only thing that they called out was light foxing on the interior cover. Okay, interior cover. Now, there are some other defects on this book they could have mentioned. I know that grader's notes with CGC are not at all comprehensive, right? Like, we know that just because they didn't mention it doesn't mean they didn't see it and didn't grade accordingly. But, I mean, I did a really good job on this pressing and cleaning it, if I do say so myself. There used to be some dirt and light staining on this back cover, and now it is completely clean. Just completely gorgeously clean. Ever so subtle discoloration around the border, the edges, but really exceptionally clean looking. This book is really nicely centered just as a copy. One defect that they didn't call out, but I know is there, And if they had called it out in the notes, I would not consider regrading it, but they did not call it out. And it's this tiny, tiny little color break that I bet you guys can't even see in the top left corner. You might be able to see a slight impression there, and it breaks color ever so slightly, like just a feather line through that corner. And it really pressed well to the point where you don't notice, your eye does not go to it at all. You have to look at it in the light in order to even notice it. And they didn't call it out. So it makes me feel like I've got a shot, you know? I've got a shot at a regrade here if I can address that inner foxing with the blue LED treatment, maybe even some spot heat overlay press, which would be riskier, but I could attempt it. So I really want to know what you guys think on this, guys, because the other thing is it is Halloween season now, so this is a great time to have this book. If I work on it right away, I could maybe turn it around, get it back before Halloween season is over, because it is so high value that they do attend to these things really quickly. So there is an outside chance that I could get it back in time for Halloween. Right now it's the 16th of October. I could get it back in a couple weeks, have it for Halloween time, and who knows, maybe we get some more Blade news coming out around Halloween, or some more Lilith news or Dracula news or whatever. It's not a very common book in high grade, to say the least. So I'm really honestly curious to know, if you guys know me or you want to hit me up on Instagram to discuss this decision, feel free to message me over there or just leave a comment below here. It's Comics Sales on Instagram. To be honest, I'll probably have made a decision by the time you guys are watching this, but I would love to know what you think anyway. I am inclined to take the risk because the reward is so great, right? I mean, the risk of losing grade is very low unless something goes terribly wrong, knock on wood. So there's always risk, right? If you ever, it hurt. It's painful to give away the sure thing, right? This is the sure thing, which is already 2.5 times my buy-in. But any other objective eye would get this, look at the grader's notes and say, holy shit, I'm cracking this thing. Because it looks so fucking clean, like a 9.8, It looks like a 9.8 from the front and the back. And it's just, honestly, normally they don't really ding for interior defects so much. Granted, it's the cover and not the pages, so I get that it's the interior cover issue. But I don't really even remember there being such a big issue there, so I feel like it might be addressable or improvable, and maybe the next grader kind of forgives it, even if it's slightly improved over its current condition. So, man, I really want to know what you guys think. I don't want to give up a grail, a sure thing, but I also don't want to give away the opportunity of, I've already 3x'd my buy-in. I could literally 3x it again. It could be 9 times my buy-in instead of 3 times my buy-in if I can achieve the 9.8. So again, guys, happy Halloween, everybody. I'm super happy to have this book in my collection, however briefly and in whatever form, right? This is just a classic Grail. It's a gorgeous copy. I knew it right off the wall. I could tell that Rob, bless his heart, at Time Capsule was sort of rolling his eyes like, oh man, I probably underpriced this when he saw me, the Mr. Comic Shark, come in and drop that cash on it. But I know a good thing when I see one, especially with Bronze Age books that, I have some experience with, Eternals ones and things like that, where like when you see that really minty bronze, you're just like, you gotta hop on it. It maybe the same goes for silver too. I just don't have such an occasion to see as much high grade silver. Check out West Coast Day Vendors if you want to check out some high grade silver, which happens to be ASM. West Coast Day Vendors here on YouTube and Instagram. He's my buddy Dave over in the Seattle area. He just came into an amazing Spider-Man collection with like 9+ Silver Age. And I mean, that just screams to you when you see something that vintage with that kind of collectability, it just jumps right out at you, especially the longer you do this whole comic game. So I'm going to look at this. I'm going to meditate on it. I'm going to look at it in different lights. I'm going to take it out to dinner. I'm going to sing it sweet nothings into its ear, and it's going to tell me what to do. All right, it's going to tell me what to do. Maybe come Halloween time, I'll have a 9/8. Wouldn't that be sweet? One can only dream, you know? One can only dream. All right, guys. Well, you know, I was going to show just a little bonus haul, just some other stuff I got from the time capsule just today. The time capsule is my local comic shop here in Cranston, Rhode Island. And I picked up 3 slabs just today. I picked up a little bit from my subscriptions there, and they have these like boxes of sort of you could call them kind of bulk slabs, like slabs that aren't like wall books, but just slabs he's gotten in various collections and so forth. And let me know what you think about these purchases, because I thought about them. I almost walked away. Eric helped me out. He brought the discount up to 15% from 10%, and then I was like, all right, you're pulling my leg, Eric. Let's do it. But here's what I got today at the time capsule. Okay, he's got amazing wall books. These just happen to be some sort of minor slabs in the back bins. So Noctera #1, this is the foil trade dress. They call it the Comics Vault Live Edition. It was only $60, so I got it 15% off of $60. I think Noctera is just kind of a sleeping spec right now. As far as we know, the project is still going full force forward. I know a lot of people are big believers in that title, so I figured I wouldn't lose money on that one. $60 is a pretty low buy-in, and those Comics Vault Live editions with the foil trade dress from Skybound are always very low print and, you know, nicely made and collectible. Here's another sort of indie spec. It's Witches #1 from Scott Snyder and Jock doing the cover and the art. I've never read this, but I've heard great things about the series. It's been spec for many years now, 3 or 4 years since I've been into comics again. And, you know, I just sort of jumped at the opportunity to get a 9/8 at this price, $65 before discount on Witches #1 cover A. It's an older label, so I might send this in for a reholder just to sort of have it ready when interest in this grows again. But it is confirmed to be an animated series on Amazon. And, you know, lots of critical acclaim. Scott Snyder talks about it as his most personal work. A lot of people who know the series seem really excited about it as an animated series. So yeah, I think that's a solid pickup. I remember, you know, a year or two ago, certain YouTube influencers would say, you know, you can never go wrong buying a 9/8 below $100. It sort of shows you where we are, a sign of the times today, that's not so much of a no-brainer anymore. I think, unfortunately, these days, it's not that uncommon to see a lot of 9/8 slabs going for case cost, you know, like $20, $30 a slab. If it's not a key book, if it's cooled down, you know, that's just kind of where we're at now. I feel like those 9/8 books used to go for $50, $60, and now, you know, key books like this would go for $100, you know, reliably $100 or more. And now we're at the point where those non-key books are tough to move for more than $20, $30. And these key books, such as they are, indie spec or whatever, are going for $50, $60. So that's where we are right now. Great buying opportunity for folks who, you know, want to jump in there on whatever title. And this is the 3rd book. He gave me the 15% discount when I bought 3 slabs. So I was considering a few different ones. There was an ASM non-key sort of silver bronze issue. I want to say it's like 107 or something with a green cover. That was a potential crack press resubmit, but I didn't think it was going to get high enough to be worth the buy-in at like 150. Whereas this fantastic 4108 in a 9.0. 9.0 is a very tantalizing grade for a you know, silver bronze type book. This is a 15 center from 1971, and it's a cameo of Annihilus on the last page. So it is a key book, and Annihilus is a pretty intriguing character that a lot of people like to spec on. And this is a great, Stan Lee story, John Buscema cover, Jack Kirby, Joe Sinnott, John Buscema, and John Romita on the art. I mean, this is like classic era FF. Great Sue Storm kind of fainting in Johnny's arms there. I mean, this is a great cover. Excellent cover. So, this is a pretty nice book to have in a 9.0 for $90 before discount, right? But then you've got the fact that, you saw what I did with the Tomb of Dracula one back cover. The great thing about the back covers of these silver and bronze books is that they are improvable if you're good with these sort of advanced cleaning methods. So this book, someone probably gave it a dry clean, right? And got it to looking this good. But I can make it look a lot better. That's what I did with the Daredevil Frank Miller issue as well, the 158. It's a Mark Jewelers, and I'm working right now actively on improving that back cover, because that is where the foxing and most of the defects lies, and where a lot of the opportunity is, because that book as well was a 9.2 that looks perfect from the front, business on the front, party on the back. The back has like lots of staining that until recently people thought was not improvable necessarily. So now there's a lot of opportunity when you see books of this vintage in this sort of grade range with back covers like this, because it means that if they were 9.0, 9.2 before, if you can really improve that back cover meaningfully, you're going to bump it 1, 2, 3, 4 grades, and then really be in a different value bracket than you were before, especially if it's a key book. So, this book starts to get exponentially more valuable as it gets to 9.4, 9.6, 9.8. So I think 9.4 is a really reasonable target. The front of this book looks perfect. The side spine looks a little bit discolored, and the back looks a little bit discolored. But it's just right in that wheelhouse for me. I want to make this a 9.6. Maybe, here's hoping 9.8, and then we're really looking at some values. So we'll see what happens with that. And those were the 3 slabs I got today from Time Capsule. This book I originally got raw from Time Capsule. So shout out to Rob and Eric and Jeff over at Time Capsule, Cranston in Rhode Island, and Seekonk in Massachusetts. Both great shops, and you can just get great deals there any day of the week. So that's it for this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions or comments or jokes or insults or whatever you want to make fun of my hat, I don't care. Just say so in the comments below. And like the video or dislike it. And subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. And remember, I'm live every Thursday night on Instagram doing claim sales, auctions, a lot of the slabs you see on these videos, a lot of the raw books, and we got a lot of Halloween horror stuff planned as well for the month of October. So hope to see you guys soon over there on Instagram, and I'll see you on the next video on YouTube. Bye-bye.